Hello world, it's me Taz, Two Crows Flying again. And before we launch into today's teachings or thoughts about being a lighthouse, I'd like us just to bring ourselves to our centered self and find yourself growing roots through your feet, feeling your sit bones, seeing if you can be silent enough to hear what is going outside on the world with the nature if possible, or to tune out or put your headphones on and just take some deep in breaths. So today's topic is about being a lighthouse. And what is a lighthouse for? It's not only used to illuminate the way, it's also used to warn others that danger is ahead and for you to correct course. And where are lighthouses found? On treacherous ground, small islands, wild coastlines. You get the picture. And sometimes we have to be just that. The lighthouse that stands on treacherous ground. To be on that rocky shore, to shine a very prominent beam on places that are toxic and places where integrity has been compromised. To speak up in places like these is a knee-knocking experience. I am coming from a deep place of knowing this. Speaking up when justice has been done in private or world places, asking hard questions, and hearing obvious lies. Our bodies know when this happens. We know when an untruth is being experienced, or we know when something important has to be said because it shakes us. It moves us to tears. And we might even have shock waves moving through our system. This light, paradoxically, may cause shipwrecks. Our open heart should never close to the survivors that crawl back from this, including ourselves. Then, even more so, must our vulnerable hearts remain open. It takes a really brave person not to close their heart. It takes muscles of vulnerability to stand strong and not to shut doors. Anything less than, not even within a vibrational quality that you can spend any more time thinking on. Shine that light, even if you are trembling. I'm open to finding out where this phrase came from. Please put it down in comments. The inability to receive support from others is a trauma response. Your I don't need anyone, or I'll do it myself conditioning is a survival tactic. And you needed to shield your heart from abuse, neglect, betrayal, and disappointment from those who could not or would not be there for you. This goes in tandem with being the lighthouse. So we have to keep this response within us, this trauma response of being daring to say what we need to say, to support ourselves and to support others. Sometimes we've had a parent who's absent and abandoned you by choice, who's never been home. the lovers that offered sexual intimacy but never offered a safe haven that honored your heart, the friendships and families that always took more than they gave, and from all the situations someone told you, we're in this together or I got you, and then abandoned you, leaving you to pick up the pieces when shit got real, and leaving you to handle your part and their part too. This is when we have to be the lighthouse, to stand up for ourselves and say what we need to say, even though it is knee knocking, because we've learned along the way we can't trust people, or we can't trust anyone to hear what's our truth or what we're feeling. So if you've learned if I don't put myself in a situation where I rely on someone, I won't have to be disappointment when they don't show up for me, or when they drop the ball, because they'll always drop the ball eventually, right? You may have even intentionally brought this protection strategy by generations of hurt of ancestors who come to you before. So this extreme interdependence is a preemptive strike against your own heartbreak. But you still have to be your lighthouse. You still have to speak your truth. So, no matter how you dress it up or display it proudly to make it seem that when this kind of independence is what you've always wanted to be, in truth it's your wounded, scarred, broken heart behind a protective wall. It's a trauma response. So you have to speak up, my loves. You have to speak up if you have had any of these crushing things happen to you, and you're in a relationship, a friendship, any kind of ship where you've actually given over your trust and you felt now that you've been betrayed. The way to get out of this is to actually speak up. Don't go back into that trauma response. You are worthy of having support. You are worthy of having a true partnership. You are worthy of love. You're worthy of having your heart held, to be adored, to be cherished, to have someone say, I've got this, and actually deliver on that promise. You are worthy to receive. You are worthy to receive. You are worthy. You don't have to earn it, prove it, or bargain for it, or beg it. Simply because you exist. I don't know who the author is of this. I've looked around. So, if you find yourself on a rocky shoreline today, in a place of your heart being dashed, your friend has been ugly to you, or something has happened to you, even at work, be brave and take a deep in-breath and say, in as best a way you could possibly say, I have been hurt by your actions and your behavior. I am retreating from this. I can no longer be here. Or, can we have this conversation when I'm feeling calmer? Because my feelings are hurt and I need to have a deep in-breath before I can respond. But you have every right to respond. If there has been a gross violation of trust, of somebody not having your back. And if you need help with the release of this trauma, please drop me a line at info@right-lighthouses.com. relation.org. I do long distance consultations, and I could possibly help you with this. Love you all. Have a beautiful day, everybody.